Mi nombre es Patricia, yo soy DACA.
Okay.
Y estamos aquí porque queremos hacer un vigil para honrar a toda la gente que ha recibido DACA y a quien le ha cambiado la vida por tener DACA, y también para todos los que todavía no califican y que no pudieron calificar y que aún todavía no tienen ninguna reforma migratoria.
Claro, ha sido un camino difícil, ¿no? Si bien es un gran programa para las personas que llegaron chiquitos a Estados Unidos, sin embargo, lo que han dicho ustedes no es suficiente. Tienen su vida hecha en Estados Unidos, muchos ni siquiera conocen otro país más que Estados Unidos, la mayoría. Entonces, ¿por qué es importante seguir luchando para encontrar ese camino a la ciudadanía?
Pues es muy importante porque hay muchos de nosotros que no tuvimos la oportunidad de ir al colegio, que no tuvimos la oportunidad de poder pagar por el colegio. Yo personalmente no he regresado a México por muchos años porque pues por el temor de que no puedo regresar también. Y las pólizas que tienen ahorita pues no son justas. Somos puro número para inmigración, nada más somos un número, no somos gente, no nos ven como personas, nos ven nada más como simplemente un trabajo que tienen que hacer. Y pues ha sido muy difícil porque nos limita cuando queremos ir a buscar mejores trabajos, cuando queremos ir a buscar mejores oportunidades en la escuela, trabajar, buscar un apartamento, comprar casa, comprar carro, nos limita mucho a la vida, pues. Y pues yo no puedo viajar con mi hijo ya está grande y yo no puedo viajar con mi hijo a México porque yo no puedo regresar, no tengo manera que regresar legalmente.
Por supuesto. Hoy se cumplen 10 años de este programa, es importante poner el acento en este programa. Me gustaría que nos dijeras si tienen ustedes esperanzas ahora con mucha gente yendo a Washington a protestar afuera del Congreso, de la Casa Blanca, decir aquí estamos para visibilizarse. ¿Tienen esperanza de que pronto pueda haber una reforma migratoria que por lo menos a ustedes, los DACA, que son los que en la línea de fuego serían los primeros beneficiarios, creen que puede haber algo?
Sí, claro, siempre tenemos esa fe que va a haber algo, que va a haber una reforma, no nada más para los recipientes de DACA, pero también para todos que están indocumentados aquí en el condado, en el estado. Tenemos mucha fe, no nada más estamos protestando, no nada más estamos haciendo un vigil, pero también estamos sentándonos con congresistas, nos sentamos con los alcaldes, nos sentamos con la gente pues para que nos escuchen, y sabemos que aún eso no es suficiente y por eso también en conjunto nos vamos a protestar, nos sentamos a hacer vigiles y pues tenemos que seguir luchando y no perder esa fe, porque la realidad es que si ya se pudo hacer una vez, se puede hacer otra vez.
Claro.
Y pues entre más nos unimos y más nos reunimos a hacer estos tipos de eventos, se refuerza la prioridad de que estamos aquí y no nos vamos.
Claro, lamentablemente muchos ya no pudieron aplicar al programa por la suspensión que hubo, ¿no? En este momento, ¿ustedes cómo ven a todas esas personas que ya no alcanzan en este momento a calificar? Sé que también esta vigilia es por ellos, que tienen las mismas características de los que tienen DACA, pero no han podido aplicar.
No, sí, es muy estresante para ellos también, y por esa razón es que estamos aquí luchando todavía día y día, porque hay muchos que aún no califican, pero también están ahí luchándole todo el día, le están luchando en la escuela, luchan en sus trabajos y también están protestando y se ponen aún así a riesgo para poder ganar algo para ellos mismos, porque ellos no calificaron también. Y estar aquí es como darle un poder a ellos también, porque ellos ven que no es nada más que nosotros estamos peleando para los beneficiarios de DACA, estamos peleando para todos, no nos olvidamos de nuestros hermanos, no nos vamos a olvidar de nuestras hermanas. Esta lucha es para toda la familia. So tonight we're celebrating, it is the 10th year anniversary for DACA, and we're holding a vigil so that we can honor those who have received DACA and have changed their lives through DACA, and we're also here to honor those who have not been able to qualify either because DACA's been under attack or because they missed their opportunity to qualify. So we're here to honor them and hold space for everyone and make sure that everyone knows that we are here and we're here to stay and we're not going anywhere.
Yeah, you mentioned several things like make the difference between having DACA or not having DACA. What makes the difference, and what those things that if you don't have DACA, you can get here in this country?
So DACA has allowed us to be able to work, and it has allowed us to also qualify for certain grants, certain financial aid through the state. Before that, we were all considered out of state, and so we had to pay out of state tuition. So with DACA, that has been able to be waived. So we are now considered technically residents of our states. So it definitely has changed. It's been able to give people the privilege to travel across the nation. It has also been given people the privilege to drive. So it definitely has made an impact on our communities and our families, as we're now able to expand our opportunities to be able to survive here in this country.
Yeah, you're still like fighting, talking. You were telling me talking with congressmen, people that can make laws that can have maybe a reform for migrants. So here I want to ask you, what's the hope that you have for like to have the final benefit to be a citizenship of this country?
Well, we definitely have a lot of hope that we're going to have something. Something passed for us. We've been sitting with congressmen. We've been sitting with even Vice President Kamala. We have been doing the work. We're not just out here rallying or protesting. We're also sitting down and talking to legislation so that we can make something happen for the undocumented. It's been proven that most Americans in our nation approve of immigration reform. So I think that it's time that our leaders in Congress and our leaders in the Senate listen to us. And if we have to show up every now and then to remind them that we are here and we're not going anywhere, then that's what we're going to continue to do. But the hope is always there. We're not losing any hope for any of our brothers or sisters. We are definitely not going to be leaving anyone behind.
Yeah, you told me before you wanted you wanted Seaside to be on the map, like today, right?
Yes. So we definitely feel. Well, I definitely feel that being a resident of Seaside myself and growing up in Seaside. It was really hard for me to come forward as undocumented. I didn't have enough resources. I didn't have enough guidance to, take me down the right direction. So, and I feel like there's a lot of students that are going through the same thing. I've met many other college students that have felt the same way as well, where they didn't feel like they had enough resources for, their status. So, definitely, I feel like Seaside has to be on the map because we're so close to the agriculture community, which all the farm workers in Salinas, and we're so quiet about it here. We're not making enough noise to let people know that there's undocumented community here too, and they're not coming out because of the fear of retaliation and from their bosses in Carmel or in Pacific Grove and Salinas. And I think that it's important that the youth are out here as well to stand up and have a voice for their parents, for their grandparents, or whoever in the community is undocumented, and just be that voice and bring that hope to people that something will get done. Something will get done. We're taking care of it, and we're going to make it happen. Thank you all for coming. You guys should all give yourselves a round of applause, a pat in the back, because I know a lot of us are coming out of work and we're coming here late at night. I know it's a little late, but we're going to go ahead and get started with everything, okay? Thank you guys. So, my name is Patty, and I am a DACA recipient, and I am also a resident of the Monterey County. I grew up here in Seaside for most of my life. I've been here for 30 plus years. And most of my life, no one knew that I was undocumented because I grew up being told you are not supposed to let anybody know that you are undocumented, otherwise you will get deported. So my entire life, I grew up very fearful of being deported and being an immigrant. Growing up, when I was in high school, I kind of gave up on the idea of college because I didn't have the resources and I didn't have the guidance to show me, to tell me, this is what you can do as an undocumented student. This is where you can go. This is who you can ask for help. I was not given those resources. I was told, ooh, you don't really have a chance of going to school, by my own counselors. So, fast forward, we're here now. It's been 10 years since DACA passed, and my life has changed forever in the last 10 years. I have seen so much growth in job opportunities. I finally decided, you know what, screw it, if I have to go to college and pay for it all on my own, that's what I'll do. But I'm going to find resources, I'm going to get the help, I'm going to look for other people that are like me so that we can get this done. And I'm so thankful that I did, because I have come across so many other DACA recipients whose lives have also changed in the last 10 years or in the years that they received DACA. And I've also met so many other people that were not able to qualify in the recent years because of the constant attacks that DACA continues to have, or just because they didn't qualify because of whether their age or when they applied, they just couldn't qualify, and it still leaves them in the shadows. They still don't know what to do with their own selves, with their lives. They don't know how to navigate, or they're continuing to push forward. They're continuing to go to college. One way or another, they're continuing to persevere, and that's why we're here today. We're here to honor those people that have not been able to qualify for DACA. We're here to honor those people that have been able to qualify for DACA and that are making impacts all around the globe, because we don't just stay here, right? Home is here, but we don't just stay here. We want to travel. Home is here, but we want to have the privilege to be able to study abroad. We live here. We are here to stay, but we don't have the same privileges, and that definitely needs to change, and it hasn't been changing in the last 30 years. They think DACA is what's going to change, but we all know that even though we're grateful for DACA, DACA is not a solution. DACA is not enough. It's not a permanent solution. It's literally just a Band-Aid on a much wider and broader issue, which is immigration. So, with that being said, we're here today because all of you guys are in this fight together. All of you guys believe in immigration reform, and all of you guys are here to stand up for those who feel powerless, who feel hopeless, and who haven't found their voice yet. So again, give yourselves an applause, a pat on the back, because you guys are doing all the good work. All right, so I wanted to start off with a little chant that has inspired me. And then we'll kind of continue going on from there. We're doing a little bit of artwork just because I've learned that in our undocumented spaces, we're also limited to mental health resources, and we kind of have to find our own way and navigate our own way. And a lot of us are very, very creative, and we love art. So this is what we're doing. We're honoring our own skills and showing it on posters here and through art, right? So if you guys haven't joined already, definitely take up a brush and some colors and go ahead and get started on the painting. But while we chant, so I'm going to go ahead and start, and then I want you guys to kind of repeat, okay? I believe.
I believe.
I believe that we.
I believe that we.
I believe that we will win.
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 And I do. I really, in my heart, I believe that we are going to win citizenship. Maybe not tomorrow, maybe not next week, but we are going to continue to push forward. We're going to continue to have sit-ins with our leaders in Congress. We're going to continue to have our conversations with other folks to join in on and become allies to this fight. And with that, with us being here in community, with us continuing to come together for each other, supporting each other, and being able to be our own support system and our own healthcare system, we are going to get what we want. We are going to win citizenship for all 11 million undocumented in this nation. We will.
Woo! Abolish ICE!
Yes, abolish ICE, and we're defunding CBP. Because what did they do? They're giving more resources to the border, right? Now they've expanded to the point where within 100 miles of the border, ICE can come in without a warrant and arrest anybody. That's gotta go. As we continue to fund these policies, as we continue to fund these agencies, we're continuing to putting our families, our communities at risk. And that makes it harder for all of us, right? Because we all have to work extra hard to make sure that no one gets left behind, that no one feels unsafe in their own community, going to work, going to school, going to church, coming to the park. Nobody should feel unsafe. But that is the reality that we live in right now. And that is why it's important that you guys are here so that we can continue to demand defunding ICE and defunding CBP and all those agencies that continue to put our communities and our families at risk. Those policies, they have to end. And if we have to keep showing up like this, we're going to continue to keep showing up like this. For your brothers, for your sisters, for your uncles, for my aunts, for my nephews, for my nieces, for everybody in our community that is making a difference. We have to continue to show up and defund these agencies. We have to continue to put the pressure on. And that's why it's very important that if you are a U.S. citizen, we also are encouraging everyone to vote. Do their research on who is actually going to do the work for us, who's actually here for the people, who is actually going to commit to pushing immigration reform for all of us, for all of our livelihoods. DACA has been such a life-changing document for myself. I've been able to get a job. I've been able to move to the Bay Area. I moved back from the Bay Area. I don't think that I would have had that bravery if it wasn't for DACA, honestly. Before DACA, I was just kind of hiding in the shadows, living my life, living to work, and living to make sure that I can provide for my own child. And the moment that I got DACA, that's when I was like, wings are spreading, I am taking off and I am flying. And I've been fortunate enough that I've been able to move to the Bay Area where I found more of my power, where I found more of my voice, because I was able to connect with so many other people that were just like me, that it gave me hope. It gave me more hope, and it gave me more empowerment to just keep pushing and keep moving forward, because there's so many other people that have been fighting this fight for more than 30 years. And we still don't have much, right? And that's just because there's so many of us that, like me, who lived in the shadows for so long, especially in an area like this, when our neighbors in Carmel, when our neighbors in Pacific Grove are enjoying their privilege and show up their Trump flag like it's nothing, right? And we here in Seaside, the residents of Marina, the residents of Salinas, we're being victimized, we're being attacked, we're being targeted by these people, because the moment that they see us out in the streets protesting like this, what do? They fire us, right? And that's the kind of fear that most of our parents, most of our neighbors live in, and that's not okay either. So I'm here because I want to show up for the people that don't have a voice, that are still trying to find their way in this journey of being undocumented, and to inspire them, really, to inspire more people to come out, to inspire more undocumented to rally together, to get together in community, to reach out to other organizations that are all around here locally, to reach out to people that can actually be an ally for them. I've been so fortunate enough, like I said, to meet so many different people, not just here locally in the area of Monterey, but also all across the nation. All across the nation, they're going to know where Seaside is. They've already shouted us out in Washington, D.C. They're already out there rooting for us. They're already cheering out there for us, because we matter. We matter. Our voices matter. We feed our people here in Salinas. Our farm workers are in Salinas feeding reaching the entire nation while the entire nation is turning their backs on us right here. So people are going to know where Seaside is. People are going to know that we are also the neighbors of Carmel, privileged, Carmel's and Pacific Grove's privileged, and the farm workers in Salinas, right? So, thank you guys so much again for being here tonight. I definitely want to take some time as well to kind of, have a moment of silence so that we can, again, honor those who have been impacted by DACA, whether it's negatively or positively. We have to remember that this fight is not ending here. 10 years of DACA is nothing. It really is absolutely nothing compared to the fight that we've been fighting for more than 30 years. So this is a Band-Aid, and we're going to rip it off. And if we have to bleed a little, we'll bleed a little. But we are not going to stop this fight anytime soon. So thank you guys all for being here with me tonight. And I'd like to take a moment of silence for now, for just about a minute, for a minute. Thank you all. I hope that when you guys took this moment of silence, you guys thought about your neighbors, you guys thought about your coworkers, you guys thought about maybe a family member who is missing someone in Mexico because they can't see them because their family members can't come over here, or even anywhere in South America or in Africa. We have immigrants from all over because it's not just a Mexico issue, right? Immigration is definitely an issue that affects everybody, everywhere, from the AAPI community down to the Black community, and as well as the Latino community, and all Latinos, not just Mexico, but El Salvador, Cubans, Haitians, and from Latin America. Everybody is suffering through this, and I think it's a little bit harder for us, especially because we're watching as Ukrainians are being welcomed with open arms and are receiving more funds so that they can actually come here. And I think it's a little bit, it's hurtful to see how we have money for these kind of, we have money for Europeans, but we don't have money for the rest of the world. We don't have a way to figure out how to bring Haitians over here. We don't have a way to figure out how to welcome Cubans here. We're turning our backs on them with, crazy policies like Title 42 and sending people back who haven't been to their home country in more than a decade. And they're just trying to flee the violence. They're trying to flee the gangs. They're just trying to find a better life because, of course, imperialism has taken over their own countries, and now they have nowhere else to go. They can't turn to their government, so they come here and turn to us because they know that here we at least have community. Even if we aren't 100% dependent on our government to help us out, we can count on each other to help each other out. And I think that's what matters and why it's so important that we're here today. And that we continue to push to defund ICE and defund CBP.
1, 2.
So while Biden fails to act, we're going to continue to show up in community. While they continue to strategize how to end DACA, we're going to continue to strategize how to fight for DACA. So the fight isn't ending here. It doesn't end today, and it's going to continue. We're going to continue to push as long as we can. We're not going to allow them to continue to invest in harmful and dangerous surveillance technology, because if you guys didn't know, they're tracking us now with drones. Oh yes. Because the Biden administration has expanded the ICE detention capacity by signing new contracts, renewing existing contracts, and soliciting proposals from private prison corporations to convert, the Department Department of Justice facilities whose contract has ended under Biden's 2021. An executive order to ICE detention centers. We got to continue to let Joe Biden know that he has a job to do. He promised us some kind of immigration reform within his first 100 days, and he failed. He failed to do that. He failed us in the Senate with the Build Back Better plan, and he just continues to fail us. So we got to continue to show up and be in community and continue to push and continue to fight and continue to speak out, use our voices and use our power as a community to remind him that he has a promise that he needs to make and he needs to keep. So I want you guys to take away from tonight that this is a community, that we're all here in community, that we're all here. There's so many of us that are still in support, especially all over the county of Monterey. It's not just a one county issue, it's definitely all counties. And we need to start showing up more here in Seaside and doing more stuff in Seaside. I really feel like we are so many of us here that have so much power that have not been able to find their power yet. And so as long as we continue to motivate them and inspire them, we're going to continue to show up. I'm going to go ahead and open up the floor right now if anybody would like to share their story. If you're a DACA recipient or if you're not a DACA recipient, if you feel comfortable letting us know what your document status is, then feel free, but if you don't, then no pressure. So I'm going to go ahead and open the floor for anybody that would like to say a few words here. And then before I go, we're going to wrap it up in a little bit as well. But before we go, I want you guys to also be a part of United We Dream and text undeniable to 877-877. So if you guys have a phone, take it out and text undeniable to 877-877. And together we'll still be in community. You'll get updates on when we're having events as well, so that we can continue to collaborate, we can continue to show up for each other and keep pushing for this fight.
My name is Veronica Miramontes. I'm actually the first elected Latina to serve for the Monterey Peninsula Unified School District, where our student population is over 89% Latino. So it really matters for me to be here tonight. My family is directly impacted by the immigration laws. As a mixed status family, we fear a lot of losing those that we care about. So I really just want to thank everybody for being here tonight, especially all those that came from on behalf of Milpa and the Changemakers training we're doing this week. So once we heard about what was happening, it was just easy for us to come down here and show our support and solidarity. And just want to thank you all so much for being here. And whatever I can do, just let me know, and I want to be able to be a part of the change. Thank you.
Hi, thank you guys so much for being out here and supporting the cause for Papi, my small sister here. My name is Karen Karen Aime, or I go by KP. I am born and raised in Watsonville, California. I'm an anchor baby, and my assimilation with DACA is just generational trauma-wise. Hearing of my mother being sent back in a red eye when she was caught undocumented. My entire family is mixed status, and what I want to highlight that I'm sure a lot of us have and experience within our families is how this doesn't just stem from having papers and having the privilege that we do and thinking that everything is going to be solved from there on out. It keeps stemming in different ways, and in the underrepresentation that we keep seeing within communities and within, the privileged people that do take advantage. One story I can highlight, other than my mother's being sent back to in a red eye and, having to be her own voice for most of our life. I'm sure a lot of you can relate, and having to, as a elementary school person, already be translating big documentation papers is even just recently my own uncle not being allowed back into the U.S. when his own daughter passed away. And there's these laws that claim that do help for emergency situations, but they're taking advantage of that as it is, and they don't care to fend for life that is not here anymore. So within like not having documentation papers and the people that do have the privilege to have that, it's unfortunate to realize all that keeps happening generationally, trauma-wise, to our families, our friends. A lot of my friends, I'm here to raise their voice because they're too afraid to do so. They're afraid of any type of government official. They're afraid of City Hall. They're afraid of, obviously, peace officers. And it stems in different ways, and I really hope you guys can use whatever privilege you do have to use your voice and keep fighting that fight that we're trying in the government. Thank you, Patty, for being unfearful and undeniable for us all the time. You know, she gives me the strength sometimes, having the privilege that I do with papers, to just still coming out here for my friends that can't, that are afraid, and a lot of us are. So I'm really thankful for you guys for having the courage that you do. Like, I get my energy from you guys, and yeah, thank you guys for being here, and I wish you guys all the very best fighting this horrible fight. But yeah, thank you guys.
My name is Ezra. I'm an organizer with Community Before Cops and Agents of Change. Better?
Yeah.
Better? Is that better?
Yeah.
Okay, thank you. I'm still learning a lot about DACA. I'm friends with a lot of folks here. I'm doing my best to be an ally, and I wanted to remind everyone that it's city budget season, right? Show up at City Council. Tell them to reinvest into your community so that y'all have the strength and the energy to fight in this fight, right? Fight against police, defund the police, reinvest the community. Fund the schools, fund your neighborhoods, get cops out of your neighborhoods, and that's my message. Thanks, y'all.
Appreciate you guys, and I hope that we can get together in more spaces like this, and I hope that we continue to collaborate and continue to work together and continue to show up for each other just as much while we're continuing this fight. So again, thank you guys all very much for coming here tonight. I really do appreciate you coming out here and supporting and being in solidarity. With that said, I'm going to end the night with one chant, okay? One more chant. If you guys want, you guys can download the chant list as well. Just text chant to 877-877. The word is chant, and you'll get a whole list of a bunch of chants, but we're going to end the night with this one, okay? Unstoppable!
Unstoppable!
Undeniable!
Undeniable!
Undocumented!
Undocumented!
Unafraid!
Unafraid!
Unstoppable!
Unstoppable!
Undeniable!
Undeniable!
Undocumented!
Undocumented!
Unafraid!
Unafraid!
What are we?
Unstoppable!
Undeniable! Undocumented! Unafraid! Unstoppable! Undeniable! Undocumented! Unafraid! Unstoppable! Undeniable! Undocumented! Unafraid! Again, thank you guys all for coming out tonight. I really do appreciate you guys. I'm sending you guys all love, and I hope that you guys all make it home safe tonight, and that you guys all sleep well, that you guys hug your families, hug your, whether they're undocumented or not, just give them a hug, give them some love, because we're all struggling through it mentally as well, you know. So thank you guys for your art. I love your art. I love to see the creativity, and that's what it's about, right? It's about being able to release all that emotion, release your tension, because as an undocumented person, I know that it's hard to get health care because we don't qualify for Medi-Cal either. So we got to do what we got to do, and if that means taking care of each other, that's what we're going to continue to do. Thank you guys all for coming tonight.
Thank you.